Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. This secret will put you at the top of the scoreboard for bringing in more sales. And it's such a simple concept, most people miss it. Even when they learn it, they fail to execute it. And that's a subject that I will talk about many times, but it's covered in the course completely, and that is referrals, referral selling. When you engage your customers, you eventually develop a relationship with them. That's the rapport that we're talking about. You find the common ground. These are all the things that make up a good friendship. When you have that kind of comfort zone relationshiping with your customers, they become long-term customers and business associates. When you have those business associates, you can work and ask them for referrals. A referral is somebody that they know or some company that they may know that might already be using or need the service that you're selling. People who sell life insurance often get referrals from people who buy. And they say, who else do you know that might need this? They have their own jargon on how to present it, because that's part of selling. But the bottom line is that for every customer, if you just think in your mind, there is a total of six, I'm not good with my fingers, 6 referrals you can get from one customer. For each customer. So if you have a company that has, let's say, 15 customers, do the math on that. If you went to those 15 customers that are already your long-term customers, and of course this isn't going to happen overnight, but it can happen in a short period of time. Each one of them is worth a referral times 6, because once you get that person to get a referral, and you go to that next person, you can get a referral from them, and you keep going as long as you can. I'm not the only person that does this. The top people in my field that have worked for a company for 32 years constantly worked referrals and kept their business going. And of course, when they retired, they retired at the top of their field, the number one top of their field. Not because they went out and knocked that many doors or made that many visits or made that many phone calls, but because they kept a constant stream of people coming into them. If you're not familiar with that, that's called a pipeline. Building a pipeline of people that, as some people drop off, more are being pushed in. So as you are selling people, you're developing a rapport with the customers, then you can work the referrals, develop those people the same way, and end up with a handful of people who are referral business. And you can exist for years on that. That's one of the key ingredients to working leads. When working leads, one of the biggest things that happens is most people don't know much more than how to make an introduction, maybe get to the point of getting to a sales pitch with the person, and maybe even closing the sales, but they don't think to work it afterwards, because that's the service after sale. Once you've proven yourself, you're going to have a strong endorsement from your customer. You use that endorsement to work the referral. You can even ask customers to partner with you if you can do them anything that benefits them. Say, hey, would you do this for me? Could you give me a referral to somebody that you know, or do you know this company down the street, or the person who lives across the street, or whatever? or your competitive company. I can't explain how many times the salespeople that are really up on top get offers from their competitors. And the best things they could do is make friends with those people, because in almost any industry, there's plenty of room for more than one company to sell. So competition is something that you're going to run into. And if you keep it friendly, you'll look better. You never, ever knock the competition. Competition is something that keeps everybody in motion. And yeah, it's competitive, but it's also kind of like playing a game. You keep trying to take business away from each other, but what you want to do is look like the good guy, look like the good person. Once you do that, and you have proven yourself, and you have given more than you think your competitor is doing, now you're in a good place to ask for a referral. When you get referrals, you get more business. The last company I worked for, 90% of the business that I did, I used this principle, which is a principle I learned from some of the best sales trainers on the planet. Zig Ziglar, Og Mandino, and some of the other people whose names you might hear that wrote books, Tom Hopkins. And you find out that these people took their job so seriously and they worked them constantly, because it is your profession. And if you're going to work this hard, why not make as much money as you can? How do you make more money? That's a beautiful thing about being in sales. The way you make more money is you sell more, and you have the ability to give yourself a raise. How do you sell more? There's no such thing as running through your market and saying that there's no other customers available, that you've talked to everybody. There's no such thing as that, because everybody knows somebody. You can't have an area of town that you work that has 1,500 people that you could call on, and you made 1,500 calls and nobody wants to buy, and therefore that's it, you've saturated it. That just doesn't really exist. It's time to step it up and go back to those people. Sometimes on that follow-up, you actually make the sale, but at the same time, you pick up other people to talk to. You'll even get people who say, you know what, this isn't good for me, but you know who would really like this? And then they'll give you a name. And then you ask them, is there a way I can get in touch with this person? Can I give them a call? Or even better, will you call them for me? But you work the referrals, and you will find that you can have a steady pipeline of customers flowing through your business. So when the slow times come, and every field of sales there's always a slow period. It could be tax season, it could be summer vacation time, it could be back to school, it could be Easter vacation, could be Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. There's always a time where some businesses just seem to just slow down. Now that's where you step in and you become a superstar. Because when you have a business where everybody else on your team is really working hard and they're not really cutting the sales, and you're out there just rising up like a shooting star because you worked it differently, you learn, these are techniques you can learn from this seminar. You can talk, you can sell, but when you get to that point and you find that not only does that paycheck mean anything, but you're going to gain the respect of your peers and the respect of people in your company, because they could say, look at Julie, she is a go-getter. Everybody else is struggling, and Julie's out there kicking it. She's really working it. She's killing it. Now, what are the techniques? Every technique that has ever been discussed that can be found is going to be presented in the coaching seminar. You Can Talk, You Can Sell. It's a webinar. It's going to be on Zoom. And the bottom line is that we're going to learn every technique that there is to get you out there to make a difference as soon as possible and climb that ladder so that your job becomes more satisfactory. Because one truth is certain, it might be tough to do when you're struggling, but what's really interesting is that when you crack that particular code that's keeping you from selling at the top, and then you get up to the top level of selling and you see those paychecks, Now your jobs actually become enjoyable. Everyone I've ever talked to, all of the people that I've interviewed that have been successful in selling have told me this. Keep up on that. Keep up on that. But remember to work your referrals, study that, look it up, and I will be back with more.